we should talk about the protests that are occurring right here at the college. Is this footage here? This is crazy.
We don't want to arrest anybody. We support your right to protest. I'm indifferent.
This is the cafeteria. You're not going to be able to go in the cafeteria. You're not going to be able to get into the transit building, which is where a large number of businesses are.
I need just to open up, leave it open. Otherwise, I have to remove you from here. I'm free to answer any questions. Speak to anyone who wants to speak to me, but just to let you know, we got to open up. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
There's dorms, there's classrooms above this. So they just went inside the bookstores right there. You can go inside, then you can go upstairs. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And then they're looking down on the alley and watching the police come in and the conflict happen where they start arresting people. They're acting like they're just beating the heck out of them. As far as I can see, they're just doing their utmost to just do their job and remove them. But listen to this.
Oh my God! These people are just...
They got James!
They're taking all of them, they're taking everyone.
What did you expect to happen? And I know this demographic. I went to school there as a grad student for 3 years. I know what these... I can just picture this. What is happening?
They're not arresting! They're not resisting!
Everyone wants to feel like they're part of something larger. And then it's kind of like that saying where in war it's no longer about what country you're fighting for. Eventually it becomes about the guy on the left and the right of you and you're fighting for them. I think the same thing is kind of happening here. James! They've got James! Banging on the window, you know. And then people ask, why are you protesting this school? Like, why are you protesting Emerson? What is Emerson doing specifically?
I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting?
I've seen students at Emerson protest things that were so invisible. I mean, they were non-existent. They will protest anything. I know that's an opinion and a subjective statement, but you can just feel it. They love it, as you can see here. It's just, and if you're a college student, it's like, what are we going to do? What better to do on a Friday night than go to war with the establishment? I imagine if you're an Emerson student and you see a Jewish student being harassed or told you can't come through here, or a Jewish student does go through, and then you hear someone on the bullhorn, a Zionist has infiltrated our space.
Repeat after me. We have Zionists. Who have entered the camp.
Wouldn't you be like, wait a minute, what? Isn't there something wrong? Or do you just get swept up in it? Your protest can't block my ability
to make a living.
Go to work, go about my day, right? The argument, though, that they're making is that protests are supposed to be disruptive. I think that's not true. I think, logically, protests are meant to make your voice heard. It doesn't mean you have to make your voice heard by imposing on others.
Correct.
Their argument is, well, the only way you'll listen to me is if I get in your face and block your way, and that's nonsensical. I think in the long term, that will lose every time. The civil rights movement, what was so effective about that? The sit-ins, you could say, but what were they? They were conducting themselves as they should have been able to conduct themselves normally. They were not doing anything they should not have normally been able to do. They weren't holding up traffic, which is not the normal mode. They were conducting the normal mode to make a statement that normality should be applied to all, which is what made it so effective. Emerson loves a good protest, and they will bow down when students start protesting. I've seen it time and time again. So if you don't cross that line, they will let you go, for sure. So they went down to the police station. There was emails going out about professors taking shifts to go down and help bail the students out. They were pushing to make it so that police could only take action with permission of both the administration and the faculty. But logically, the faculty are hired to teach, not to decide when safety protocols need to be implemented or not.
It's reminded, I don't know why I'm thinking about a cult mentality here. Like
You don't know why you're thinking of a cult
No, I
mentality?
mean
Because it is cult
that's-
mentality.
yeah.
I mean, this is groupthink. This is why and yeah, it's bad on either side. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. Because Emerson is walking this
Right,
tightrope
it's
where they're trying to
hard to
navigate.
picture.
They don't want to fall on the wrong side of this. We saw what happens to the presidents of these other colleges when they say the wrong thing at Congress, and that should have happened. That was ridiculous that they would. But why the tolerance for? It's just scary to see something surface.
Do you think the
hope
college itself
history-
should be a little bit more involved in what is taking place on their campus?
I think they should let the police do what they need to do.
Weren't
I
they?
think they did. At some colleges, I don't think they've necessarily done that as well. They were far less quick to get to that. I think they got a little bit alarmed. It got so big and so crazy. I think they were finally like, oh, we've created a monster here. And they kind of let the professionals step in and do their jobs. They finally realized, oh, we're not qualified to do this. Since we recorded this video, a few days have transpired. So I want to give you the latest. Received some more emails. First from the president, which is interesting. I'm just going to read this to you. Emerson has made every effort to avoid confrontation. Prior to law enforcement action, the college advocated with the city and Boston Police Department for several days to delay the removal of the encampment. When it became clear that the city intended to clear the tents from the alley, we actively encouraged the protesters to remove them to prevent arrest. We also strongly and directly advocated for the police to peacefully remove tents without making arrests. We know that the events of last night are emotionally overwhelming, which leads us to our next update. Due to recent events on campus that contributed to the challenging end of the semester. As a result, this is to the faculty, your students' ability to perform to the best of their ability has been impeded. Undergraduates who receive a B+, all the way B, B-, C, C-, all the way down to a D for the spring of 2024 semester may change their grade to a pass.